What 3 things went into completely fixing the way horrible steering in the GS01 by GMADE? Well, look no further to this video to answer that very question. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Amazing RC. It's your boy Brian, and today we're going to answer that exact question right now with number 1. This comes from a very good friend of mine, Sean. Sean's RC Adventure, and if you don't know, that's the guy that runs 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 RC cars with one transmitter. He's been doing it for a while now, and it's very, very cool. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely check that out. I'll have a link in the description below. A couple weeks ago, I was working on the GS01. We were doing something with the battery tray, carving one out of carbon fiber and getting it installed, when I proposed a question to the community about the horrible steering that this GS01 platform comes with as a kit. And that's when Sean got a hold of me in the comments section and told me about this perfect part. It's the 52109S, or the CVA joints. So of course, I immediately ordered the part. Now I got mine at Amazon, right around $28 with shipping, and it got here within a week. I'll leave a link to that in the comments section below, just in case you're in the market to fix your horrible steering as well. As far as installation, it was extremely easy. Basically, you're just gonna pop off the wheel, you're gonna take out the stock inner drive shaft, as well as the cut and exterior drive shaft. Very simple stuff. Within a couple screws, you've already got all of that pulled out. Now, you want to make sure that you keep the little drive cut pin, because you're going to reuse that with the new CVA setup. Once you get all this old stock stuff out of the truck, you need to assemble your new CVA joints. And it's extremely simple to do. They give you this really cool little diagram inside. But once you've got that snapped into place, everything holds together perfectly. And now it's time to install these axles in the GS01. Once you get everything put back together, you slap the wheel back on, and you're almost ready to go. Almost, because you do need to take whatever transmitter that you're working with and give yourself a little bit of adjustment. Remember, if you were like me, you had to kind of tone down most of your endpoints with your steering, because your steering buckets, they didn't want to get out of the way of themselves, and you end up tearing the front end of your truck off. Well, now that you have the CVA joints in there, you can go back into your radio and crank up those endpoints again, and now you should have some really good functionality. GMADE says about 10 degrees more, which we were testing all day long, and I would safely say that it is definitely a good 10 degrees more. I know that our steering radius turned into something that resembles a Jeep instead of something that resembles a Freightliner. I mean, before I actually got this stuff installed on the truck, it was horrible. It didn't get out of the way of itself. Now I had to actually move the endpoints in a way to where this truck didn't try to tie itself into a knot. Now for the adjusting part, I'm using my RC6GS V1 by Radiolink, and this allowed me to adjust everything, and extremely easy and out on site. It's the best way to adjust things, because you can adjust everything you want here on the table, but when you get out and you throw the truck on the rocks or your speed runner on the ground, you have no idea what your real world settings are going to be as opposed to here on the table. So once we got out in the field, I went to adjusting our endpoints first. Basically, I got our radio link into the option for endpoints. I took the steering and moved it all the way into one direction with my endpoint way down at 25%, and then I walked it up until I heard my servo tell me I went a little too far. Basically, you're going to hear an audible whine from your servo when it doesn't want to go, or it's putting too much pressure in one direction. Once I hear that, I go ahead and back off on the endpoints 1%. And then the other side is just as simple. I went and turned all the way to the left, pushed my endpoint as far as it would go until I heard the servo make a noise, and then I backed it off 1 degree, and we were on our way. Now that I have everything adjusted in my RC6GS, I went and threw the truck on the ground and went to retrieve my cameras. And that's right about the time that I left my GoPro Hero 7 back here at the house. So this is actually the very first video that I've shot completely using my cell phone. Now, that posed one problem. Basically, my GoPro Hero 7 is meant to be hooked up on the underside of my transmitter via a selfie stick and some Velcro. Leaving this at home prohibited me from doing that. So my cell phone actually attaches to the top of my transmitter, and that's not going to work. You know that you want your camera to be as close to the ground as it possibly can be to get that great perspective shot. My RC6GS allowed me to do something pretty special. That throttle lock feature that we had in a video just a few videos back allowed me to set the cruise control on this at about 45 to 50% of power. Once I did that, I basically attached my phone to the normal vertical rig that I have. Then I flipped the transmitter upside down, putting my phone all the way down on the ground, exactly where it needed to be, and then I hit the cruise control. Once I hit the cruise control button, I didn't have to worry about playing with the throttle to get the truck to move. Now all I had to worry about was remembering that my steering was reversed. So now when I want to turn right or left, I have to just remember to turn left or right. Once I figured that out, which took just a second, off we went. And I actually shot this entire video, the whole entire sequence, in one take. It was super easy to do, and I owe a lot of that to the RC6GS. Now, before we head outside and check out that really great footage, I do want to mention one thing that came with this awesome parts bag from GMADE. I got extras, and there's nothing that can be said about giving me an extra compression ring and pin except for thank you, because the last thing you want to do is to lose your compression ring when you're out crawling your truck. But I guarantee, with my luck, that's the first thing that's going to happen. Well, GMADE has you covered. Now, let's get this GS01 Sawback out on the rocks, stop by the quarry, and give her a go. Fell right the fuck over. Well, guys, as you can see, everything ran perfectly. One shot. I absolutely love it. This brand new steering setup by GMADE is perfect. I only wish it came with the kit and I didn't drive it in its stock form for well over a year before a very good friend of mine, Sean, got a hold of me and told me how to fix it. Also, special thanks to Sean for getting into the comment section below and hooking a brother up. I thank you, sir. And so does my GMADE Sawback. Definitely have a special thanks to Radiolink for creating this really great transmitter. If you guys don't know, there's actually a V2 to this already, and it is twice as good as this one without stepping too far out of the stock shell. I couldn't believe that I was able to completely manipulate all of the adjustments in not only my throttle, but my entire steering, endpoints included, right on site. And then set up the cruise control and shoot a video all in one shot. That is great in a transmitter that's not quite as expensive as some of them can get with the same features. And of course, guys, special thanks to all of you out there. We're gonna get some really great content coming to you very, very soon. Remember, I got that C34 coming from banggood.com, and we're going carbon fiber from the very, very first day. Guys, this is Brian, and this is Amazing RC.